Most people think the Portugal Golden Visa costs 500,000 euros. That's not actually true. Once you factor in government fees, legal fees, and fund costs that many firms never mention up front, the real number is typically closer to 525,000 euros to 550,000 euros for a single applicant. In this video, I'll break down exactly where every euro goes, the investment, the fees, the hidden costs, and what you should realistically budget before starting the process. First, the main investment. Today, the vast majority of applicants use the investment fund route. The minimum investment is 500,000 euros into a qualifying Portuguese investment fund under the Golden Visa program. This is important. This is not a fee. The capital is invested. Depending on the fund, it has the potential to generate returns. However, investors should treat this as long-term, illiquid capital. Most funds have lockup periods of 5 to 7 years. Next are the government fees paid to the Portuguese immigration authorities. You should expect a 632 euro application fee and a 6,314 euro residence permit approval fee. Government fees as a single applicant, approximately 6,950 euros. But that's not the end of the government fees. You'll pay a renewal fee of approximately 3,157 euros for an additional 3 years. The permanent residence card is valid for 5 years. The total costs are over a period of 10 years, not 5. Once you're ready to apply for citizenship, there are fees of 250 euro per person. With funds, in some cases, subscription fees are requested on top. All others are simply deducted. This is something to look out for when discussing options with funds. Then at year 5, when you're eligible for a permanent residence, there's a permanent residence application fee of approximately 8,840 euros per person. So for a single applicant, total government fees come to approximately 18,100 euros, not the 6,950 euros that you pay up front. For a family of 4, that can come to approximately 70,000 euros just in government fees. Golden Visa applications are handled by Portuguese immigration lawyers. Fees vary depending on the firm, but typical ranges are 6,000 euros to 10,000 euros for the main applicant. However, I have seen fees up to 35,000 euros per main applicant. These fees cover document preparation, fund coordination, application submission, and management of the process with immigration authorities. For families, total legal costs commonly reach 15,000 euros to 20,000 euros. Fund fees. This is the cost many investors overlook. Portuguese Golden Visa funds typically charge management fees of around 1 to 2% per year, performance fees of roughly 20% of profits if the fund performs. Some funds also charge an upfront subscription fee, typically between 0% and 2% of the investment. On a 500,000 euro investment, that could mean an additional 0 euros to 10,000 euros depending on the fund. Management fees are built into the fund structure rather than invoiced separately, but they still matter. For example, a 1.5% annual management fee on 500,000 euros over 5 years equals roughly 37,500 euros in fees. When comparing funds, always ask the total expense ratio, not just the headline management fee. Finally, there are several smaller costs involved in the process. These typically include document translation and apostils, obtaining a Portuguese tax number or NIF, opening a Portuguese bank account, and travel to Portugal for biometric appointments. For most applicants, these additional costs total between 2,000 euros and 5,000 euros. So what does the full picture look like? Investment fund route, 500,000 euros. Government fees as a single applicant, approximately 6,650 euros. Legal fees, 6,000 to 10,000 euros. Fund management fees, approximately 37,500 euros. And additional costs of 2,000 euros to 5,000 euros. For a single applicant, the realistic total is approximately 525,000 euros to 550,000 euros. For a family of 4, once additional government and legal fees are included, the total often falls between 560,000 euros and 600,000 euros. So with these fees, why do investors still choose it? Despite the cost, the Portugal Golden Visa remains one of the most popular residency programs in the world, because what investors are really buying is optionality. The legal right to live in any European country, visa-free travel throughout the Schengen area, a minimum stay requirement of only about 7 days per year, and potentially a Portuguese passport, one of the strongest passports in the world, providing access to more than 180 countries. If you're evaluating the Portugal Golden Visa, one of the most important decisions you'll make is choosing the right investment fund. We've built a platform where you can research qualifying funds, compare their fee structures, and understand their strategies before speaking to anyone. You can explore that at moving2.com. And if you want a personalized cost breakdown based on your situation, whether you're applying alone or with your family, you can book a consultation with our team directly on the site. Subscribe for more practical guides on the Portugal Golden Visa and moving to Europe. Thanks for watching.